Here's a gem, brother.
Yeah.
This is what I tell everybody. This is what I tell all my clients. This is what I tell all my mentees. This is what I still use to this day. This one-liner. You go to the bank, you go to the bank manager, and you tell them this. I want to open a business checking account to collect my commissions from my ATM. That's it. Super simple. Most people like to complicate and say, well, I got an ATM. I want to place it at this location. It's going to get me money by using my money, because they don't know how to articulate it. And when you don't know how to articulate it or keep it simple, then what ends up happening is people get confused. They get confused and they're like, no, deny. Like, you know, it's a scam, right? Yeah. So I always tell people, use that one-liner. You're going to get approved. One thing to do is also due diligence. So go on Yelp, go on Google, create a list of all the credit unions, smaller banks around your area, no matter where you're at, whether it's California, New York, or Florida, and then call them one by one. Don't go there in person. Just call them. Let them know exactly that one-liner. I want to open a business checking account to collect my commissions from my ATM. They're going to say either yes or no. If they say no, who cares?
Right.
If they say yes, phenomenal, right? So at the end of the day, that's how you'll be able to get a business bank account for your ATM business. So you have your LLC, you have your business bank account, and now you need to find a ISO, independent sales organization, that's going to allow you to buy an ATM from them and then also provide you the network.
Is that hard to do?
It's not hard to do, but like anything else, you have to get bids, right? Yes. Like you just bought a phenomenal Lamborghini recently, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure, unless you already knew an auto body shop to add like a custom exhaust to it, you would go and search and ask around, hey, who's the best?
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? So you have to ask who's the best when it comes to providing the level of customer service that you want, the support that you want, especially when you're brand new, man.
For sure.
When I was brand new, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hard-headed. I'm a Capricorn. So I went with the biggest and what I thought was the best ATM distribution company out there in the United States. But realistically, they take advantage of people. And I can't name drop because I don't want to get sued, but they were one of the biggest at the time. And I signed a 3-year contract with them where they were taking roughly 30% of my profits every transaction, brother. Okay. Yeah. So one gem that I always tell people, especially if you're watching this right now on Kevin's show, okay, is that number one, you're keeping 100% of your surcharge profits. Number two, never sign a contract, especially for the processing network. This should come for free for you. And then you should keep 100% of your surcharge profits. The actual processing network, the ISO, they get paid from the banks. They get paid a fee called interchange. The interchange fee is a couple cents per transaction, but see, they're not worried about that. And the reason why they're not worried about that is because they know they're gonna get paid regardless, right? So it's passive income for them. And not only is it gonna be you, but it's gonna be thousands of people that they have under their umbrella. So when you have thousands of people, even if it's a few cents, man, you're making tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis as a company, right?
Right.
One of the best ATMs that I would recommend people to get is called a Hyusun Halo 2. It's the one that I live by. It's industry standard, comes with 2-year warranty. And one key thing that I always tell folks, especially everybody that's watching this right now, is that when you're new, buy new, right?
Right.
When you're new, buy new, man. You don't need the headaches of dealing with the tech, the installation, all that jazz. When you buy new, especially from a good company that's gonna help you out, they're going to train you on how to program, how to install the machine, and you're going to be able to do it on your own. Or you can outsource a third-party service to actually install the machine for you. The biggest biggest headache that I always see everybody having a hard time with, locations.
Yeah, locations everywhere you go.
Yeah, locations. Yeah. Everybody's like, man, it's saturated market, all that stuff. Like I can't compete and all that. It doesn't come down to the market being saturated. What it comes down to your mindset. Because like I said, take my example. I'm no one special, but I did have the mindset to go out there and actually properly educate, build value, and set the foundation with my current clients and prospects at that time, where they decided to make a decision and then transfer their account to me. Why? Because they trust me, they like me, and people buy who they like, right?
For sure.
Yeah, that's why everybody has an audience. That's why digital marketing nowadays, the online space, the internet I mean, you see a wealth of knowledge. There's so many people that are making money nowadays, and you could go into different industries, but you got to make sure that it's right for you. Whatever it is that you go to. People always ask me, well, Paul, I have $50,000 to invest in ATMs. The first thing I say, Kevin, on all transparency is slow down. Try just one. Get your feet wet.
Test it out. See how you like it.
Yeah, test it out, man. You know, it's like testing a car, right?
Yeah.
You're going to test it out. You're going to test out the different models and all that jazz. And then you're going to make a decision whether you want to scale it, right? So exact same concept. But with ATMs overall, the average that people can make off of one machine is about $200 to $1,000. Some of my top tier accounts, which was in dispensaries back in California, I was making around $1,500 a month residual passive income, bro. And this is with 2 employees. I had 1 employee load up all the cash on all my ATMs, and then I had a tech who was on call who was taking care of the maintenance. So with me, it was completely 100% passive once I passed that threshold of 10 ATMs. I tell people in the very beginning, don't try to outsource everything when you first start. And the reason why, it's gonna eat up your margins. It's gonna eat your profitability. You wanna do everything yourself in the very beginning. And in the very beginning, it only takes a couple hours, man. You know, how many other sources of income do you know can be as passive as an hour or 2 a month, and it can make you either a couple $100s to thousands of dollars?
Yeah, for sure.
Even in real estate, think about that. How much can we get a real, like let's say a duplex here in Miami?
They gonna tax us.
Yeah,
it's high.
Yeah. They're going to get us for a lot, right?
Yeah, way more than like Texas or like Indiana or, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why people are buying a crap load of real estate properties in Texas, because that's the area where it's really good to buy. But here in Florida, let's say if you have an investor here in Florida and they wanted to buy in Miami, right? Come on, a duplex, easily over $1 million.
Yeah, way,
easily. No, way over, right?
Way over,
And that's if you don't have to remodel it and rehab it and all that jazz, right? Yep. But think about it like this. So let's say you have to put 20% down. That's $200,000. Okay, $200,000. And let's say the duplex, okay, for example, you could get 2 apartments out of it. And let's say how much is rent right now for a 1-bedroom?
In Miami, probably about $2,800.
$2,800. So let's say you get close to about $5,000 right now. $5,000 in rent, and that's gross profit, right? Now you got to pay the management companies, usually 10, 15%, right? And then you got to pay the upkeep. You got to keep reserves. By the time that you've invested that $200K, realistically, you're probably making around $2,000, $2,500. That's $200K. How many people have $200K nowadays? Not many. Sure. Not many. What I heard recently is that 70% of people in the United States barely have $10,000 in their bank account. So here's the thing. ATMs, it is low barrier, beginner friendly, low risk business to actually build residual income while you have your main source. That's why I loved it. That's why it made me financially free, because I saw that vision. And that's what I always tell people. But I ended up transitioning to Bitcoin ATMs as well.
Yeah, for sure. I was finna ask you about how you feel about the Bitcoin going up right now.
Dude, you saw that?
Yeah. I'm happy.
It just went up to 35,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like it's finna be a crazy bull run. I feel like it's finna really turn up.
Oh, well, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming because right now, if prices are increasing, you know, you got BlackRock, which is one of the biggest investment companies out there investing into it, bro.
Yeah. It's over with.
I'm just saying, the bull run's gonna be good. And guess what? The people that are actually invested into Bitcoin ATMs, they're gonna make so much money.
They sure is.
And I know you've been on Fresh and Fit, the podcast with Myron and Fresh.
Yeah.
But I was just on there last week with one of my operation consultants, Get 'em. And we were talking about Myron's Bitcoin ATM. The guy made $6,000 in the range of 4 to 5 months. He's an avid real estate investor, man. So he was just like, bro, the return on investment on this compared to real estate, it does not compare. And that's the thing when it comes down to, like, I never believed in crypto in the beginning. Like back in, I'm going to say 2018, when I was building up this whole ATM venture, I remember one of my buddies was like, we were in Egypt. I still remember this, man. We were in Egypt, riding the camel, looking at the pyramids. And he's just like, hey, bro, did you invest in Bitcoin? It's like at a really great price right now. And I was just like, man, forget your Bitcoin, bro. I was like, I'm about my ATMs. That's why I'm on this trip, because it's paying for my trip. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, He became a millionaire off of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
And dude, a few years later, now I'm one of the distributors for Bitcoin ATMs. You know, one of the largest Bitcoin ATM suppliers out here is called Bitcoin Depot. They're out of Atlanta, Georgia. These guys have over 3,000 machines. The CEO, okay, just stated a few months ago that each one of their BTMs, their Bitcoin ATMs, makes roughly on average $7,000 a month.
Damn.
Bro, imagine if you have just a few of those.
And what do those cost? Like, how do you get it? How do you get those? Like, where?
So those roughly cost about 20 to 30,000.
Okay.
Okay. So a little bit higher than ATMs, of course. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. It's completely passive.
Yeah.
It's completely passive.
Yeah.
If you compare it to real estate, and let's say in real estate, like I said, minimum, you want a duplex out here in Miami, or whether if you want it in Texas, you're still going to drop $20, $30, $50,000. You got to really look at your return on investment. How much are you going to make off of that? In Texas, you're probably going to make $500. And it's not 100% passive. So imagine you invest the same money into a Bitcoin ATM and you have a management company, fills it up. You don't got to fill your crypto because the company fills it up for you. You're winning all day because you're making your money work for you, bro.
Wow. And you know what's crazy about it? I used to see those Bitcoin ATMs in Chicago. Like, this was about 2013, 2014. And I used to.
So back when I started.
Yeah. And I used to look like, what is this? But in order, like what I used to do, in order to actually get like on like the dark web or something like that, you needed a Bitcoin ATM. So it's, you know, it's crazy, right? So it's so smart. Whoever had their Bitcoin ATM at the time, because like, you know, we just didn't know where a Bitcoin ATM was located.
Yeah.
You actually had to Google it.
Yeah.
So if they were smart enough to put their Bitcoin ATM on Google and we knew where to go to, like, you know, load up, and actually, because in order to get on the dark web, you clearly need to you need Bitcoin. So I was just like, damn, but I never knew what it was for, like, properly. Yeah. But that's crazy when I started like getting into like reading more about it. I'm like, oh, okay, you could buy crypto. And I'm like, what's crypto? And what's this? What's that? I didn't even realize that Bitcoin was like crypto. I thought it was just something to get on websites, weird websites and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. But it just taught me, like, it's smart to like get into that because everybody needs that right now to buy crypto right now. You feel me?